How's it going, guys? My name is Righteous Nikki, and welcome finally to Shadow Priest 2.0. If you probably have seen my Shadow Priest deck, that's actually the video, my most popular video, you would know that it was kinda not so good, to be honest. Now that I watched it back again, it had some potential, but I don't really had the cards for that. But now, I think I finally managed to create the ultimate Shadow Priest deck. Not thinking, okay, I'm in the middle of explaining here stuff. And I actually decided to make this now because I was actually planning to make this deck after the Grand Tournament was released. But as I've seen every card that is going to be released for the Grand Tournament, I noticed that it had actually tons of new cards, and especially for the Shadow Priest, it had a lot of new Shadow Priest oriented cards. And I actually think that I might be able to do a Shadow Priest 3.0, a version 3 with that. But as for now, I think this is a pretty solid version and I don't want to ruin that. And as for the deck, I'm now going to explain what I have put here and why. I'm going to start actually backwards from this. First, Shadow Form, of course. This should be the main card in your deck because there's no other way for your priest to become a Shadow Priest. If you don't have Shadow Form, this is like the main ingredient for this deck. And this card is mostly used for controlling the board. But its main weaknesses is that it's pretty slow. If you play this on turn 3, that's all of your turn. So that's kinda bad. But if you manage to play it in the right moment, it can give you tremendous value over the course of the game. And that's where Shadow Priest strong side shines. Now what else do we have here? Let's start from the bottom here. We have Prophet Velen. This actually synergizes pretty well with Shadow Form because let's say you play one Shadow Form, that's going to make your hero power do 2 damage. With Prophet Velen, that hero power now deals 4 damage. And if you have the buffed Shadow Form for 3 damage, Prophet Velen hero power is going to do 6 damage. So that's some big value there. And also you can just play Prophet Velen with your normal hero power, which is going to heal you for 4. Which is always nice if you need to sustain a bit. Now, Prophet Velen is also one of the main ingredients in these decks because the key to winning a game with Shadow Priest is actually to burst down your opponent. Some of those cards, as you might imagine, are Mind Blast. This is like, I would say, the strongest combination with Prophet Velen because it gets up to 10 damage. You also have Holy Smite, which is going to be 4 damage. And last but not least, you have also Holy Fire, which is going to be do 10 damage and restore 10 health, actually, because Prophet Velen increases the damage and healing of spells, so that gets a 20 number of value, which is incredible. You can also increase the damage and healing of Holy Nova, but that's not that much used with Prophet Velen. Right, next up we have Emperor Thaurissan. This is a pretty important card in this deck because for you to actually play some combo stuff here, you actually it actually is a pretty good idea to reduce the mana cost of those stuff. So let's say you have 10 mana and Prophet Velen is 7, you can actually play just one Mind Blast and one Holy Smite, and that's going to be 14 damage. But if you have Thaurissan and even if you reduce the mana cost of Prophet Velen by 1, Prophet Velen is going to be at 6 mana and you're going to be able to play 2 Mind Blasts, which is 20 damage. That's pretty good. Also, if Thaurissan managed to hit more spells, you can probably do a much bigger burst. You can actually potentially do a 30 damage burst in one turn. What else do we have here? We have one Cabal Shadow Priest. It had Shadow in its name, and I do think it's a pretty strong card on its own. You can take leftovers of other creatures like Swashbelchers, like spiders, and other just 2 attack drops that would probably come in the mid game if your opponent draws it and doesn't have anything else to play. You have Light Bomb. This is your ultimate board control card. You would probably want to use that in the last case scenario when you can't control the board anymore, or to remove something big and annoying. You would probably want to use that versus some heavy big ass legendaries and stuff. Holy Fire, it's not a Shadow Priest card, but you do need some healing as a Shadow Priest, because your opponents kind of decide that they can't really win the control game and they decide to go face, and Holy Fire is going to help you sustain pretty good. So Holy Fire is basically like a Fireball, but deals 1 damage less for 1 mana more, but also heals you. So it's kind of worth it. It's basically heal you for 6 for 2 mana plus Fireball, which is awesome. Azure Drake. We have actually some dragon synergy in this deck, if you haven't noticed. It's not that big of a dragon synergy. I've put one Azure Drake because spell power is always nice. You kinda need some card draw in this deck as well, and I thought that Azure Drake fits this role perfectly. You have 2 Holy Novas. You're primarily going to use them to clear the small annoying stuff that your opponents are going to play, and usually those stuff are going to be quite a lot because the meta right now is aggro decks and you probably have to kill a lot of small creatures. You have 1 Twilight Drake. Your deck is pretty slow, so you're probably going to get some value of holding cards and playing a decent Twilight Drake, at least a 4 or 5 Twilight Drake or even more. And yeah, even if it's a 4/1 for 4 mana, it's not that bad. But usually this card is pretty valuable if you manage to give him a lot of HP. You have 1 Kezan Mystic, considering the meta is running around Face Hunter and Mech Mage. Of course, you also have your occasional Grim Patron Warrior and Tempo Rogue and maybe some Tempo Paladin. Kezan Mystic is pretty useful versus the Paladin, Mage and Hunter. So overall, I had some problems with Hunters because taking one of their secrets is actually pretty crucial of sustaining as a Shadow Priest. You have 1 Shadow Madness. That's a pretty strong card in the mid game. You can kill 2 of your opponent creatures for nothing. It's pretty strong. Or you can get a favorable trade. Or in the best case scenario, you can get a smaller creature with Death Rattle, kill that off, and be left with creatures on your side of the board. That's going to be the best case scenario for Shadow Madness. Overall, I think it's a great card. It has Shadow in it, so I had to include at least 1. Next up, we have Valiant's Chosen. I picked that because I actually have a lot of 1 mana drops, and buffing them kinda gives me some pretty strong tempo lead, and also spell damage is pretty good for this deck. We already talked about the Shadow form. We have Shadow Word Death. This deck is pretty bad at dealing with big creatures, so Shadow Word Death is just the card that you need. Actually, to be honest, you may want to put maybe 1 big game Hunter instead of Shadow Word Death. It's kinda the same, but Shadow Word Death actually targets more creatures. But I don't know, I just decided to go with 2 Shadow Word Death here. You have 1 Shadow Boxer, that's a Shadow card of course, and it's pretty good to play on turn 2. You could probably have a favorable trade with another 3-health creature and heal that and kill the other creature off. Basically a pretty strong 2-drop in my opinion. You have 2 Fairy Dragons. You're going to need some dragon synergy, and the Fairy Dragons are pretty aggressive actually, and force your opponent to trade in them. And as a Shadow Priest, you kinda want to deal some damage to the face, at least until you make your opponent to drop at least on 20 HP, so you can have at least the Valiant to Mind Blast combo available. So Fairy Dragon kinda makes the job done pretty well. You have Shadow Word Pain. You usually would like to use that for mid-range creatures, as creatures that have 3 attack. You would probably sometimes use them for a 2 attack creature, but you would never want to use that for a one attack creature, because you would probably kill the one attack creatures with the Shadow Form. Basically to clear some annoying mid-range stuff that you can't kill with the Shadow Form. You have one Twilight Wave here. Basically this is the only Dragon Synergy card that you have. I think it's the most valuable turn 1 card. It's like a zombie chow, but you don't give your opponent 5 HP. But of course it's pretty bad if you don't have a dragon in your hand. But if you manage to get like a fairy dragon and a Twilight Wave, well, this is like the best thing you can play on turn 1. You have 2 Shadow Bombers. You can play a Shadow Bomber turn 1 to force your enemy to play a hero power. And that's actually a pretty good play, because if you don't have anything to play on turn 2, you can just heal yourself up, and that's just fantastic. Otherwise, you would want to play Shadow Bombers in the late game to try to finish out your opponents. Basically, a Shadow Bomber is like a Shadow Bomb for 1 mana, but it also damages you, which isn't that good, but if you need to finish your opponent, it's pretty good. You have 1 Northshire Cleric. You want to play the Northshire Cleric either on turn 1 or to heal something and get a card draw from it. You can also put it on the board and use maybe Holy Nova to get some more card draw. Basically you want to use the Northshire Cleric for some card draw, because this deck actually doesn't have that much card draw besides the Azure Drake here, which isn't that much. And your other card draw is of course the Northshire Cleric. You kind of want to get as many cards as you might want to get from the Northshire Cleric. And last but not least, as I mentioned, Holy Smite. You usually want to use that to control the board with Shadow Form. If you can't kill something with the Shadow Form, Holy Smite is going to help you finish that off. Or the other case is that you use it to finish your opponent's face with Prophet Veil. Well guys, this is going to be the Shadow Priest 2.0. I think it has pretty big difference from the last time I showed you the Shadow Priest deck. Maybe I would say that the only connection is the Shadow Form here and some Holy Novas and Holy Fires, but otherwise almost every other card is changed, and I think it's changed for the better. So now I'm going to show you some games with it, and I hope you enjoyed. Alright, we're going to be playing versus another Priest. This is going to be surprising for him. Alright, that's a pretty slow start, but I'm going to keep the Shadow Form because considering it's a Priest, he's probably going to play a bit slow, and I'm going to be able to play my Shadow Form, and those are pretty bad cards to get as well. You would... oh no, Shadow Form. The best case for you is to get some 1 mana drops here, and I didn't get that. Right, let's see what the other guy is going to play. Mind Vision, yep, he's probably going to get one of my Shadow Forms. The chances of that are pretty high, and considering he told me thank you, that's probably the case. So yeah, we're going to have a Shadow Priest battle here. He's going to play it here. Yep, and it's a golden one as well. Oh well. Yeah, but the thing is, I actually have 2 Shadow Forms. Oh, what? He had a Shadow Form of its own? Damn! Alright, that's going to be fun. Wait, but he has 1 more. If he's playing the same deck as me, he should have 1 more Shadow Form. And that should be useless. I haven't seen a Shadow Form do 4 damage, so let's just play Azure Drake here. No, that's not going to do anything, I think. To be honest, Shadow Word would be the best course of action here. And let's go for some face damage. Right, he is going to try to remove that. Not so... And we can play one of those, I guess. He's getting pretty low. That's good for me. I can start pushing for phase damage, to be honest. I'm putting the Northshire Cleric so I have something on the board. I'm going to play Shadow Word Pain on that is a pretty wasteful spell, to be honest. Alright, let's play one Holy Fire here and we should be able to win this next turn. Yeah, I don't have a heal. My two Holy Fires are here. And yep, GG. And that was a pretty surprising first game there. Alright, this is a terrible start. I'm going to throw everything here. And we're going to get... Oh, that's pretty nice. I wouldn't like the Mind Blast so early, but otherwise not too shabby. But we don't have a turn 1 play, which is always bad. Considering I have 4 turn 1 cards. Actually 6 with the Holy Smite. And I didn't get one, that's not the best case. But Fairy Dragon on an open board is pretty strong. Mages tend to have a lot of spells, so he's probably going to waste a Flame Cannon here, which he didn't. And now I can play safely a Shadow form. Alright. Now we're going to be able to establish some dominance, maybe? That's probably a mirror entity. Let's check it out. No, it's not. Alright. I'm not going to throw a Holy Smite on the face just to check if that's a counter spell, so I'm going to do it only for a minion. Cone of Cold, so that's a control mage. Freeze mage. Guess we can. But that may be a counter. Let's play one Holy Smite here. Alright, it's not. Let's play Twilight. Or Cone of Cold. Alright, then it's Valiant Chosen and Face. Actually, I have a Kazan Mystic, so I might be able to win versus this mage. Yup. Actually, the best case here for me is to play Holy Nova, so I can heal up my minion. He's not going to play any minions, so... And I get a card draw, which is always nice. Let's just use Hero Power. I can actually open up his secret next turn if my Northshire survive. It's not going to survive, however. Another secret. It's not mirror. Going to be Ice Barrier. Alright. That's not the worst. Can't really play Shadow Madness either. Death Ward? Wow. I'm going to get something. Oh yes. Let's see what I'm going to get here. Duplicate. Wow. I don't really wanted that anyway. Cabal. That's alright, I guess. Let's just continue to go face here. Don't want to throw Mind Blast, not yet. Maybe if I get Valence from this, I could do something. Shadow Bomber. Alright. let's just hit this one time, just in case. Like, it's a good idea to go phase, but I really don't want him to have spell power. And I don't really take care of that ward. Oh, nice. Now I can start pushing for phase damage here. Let's leave him to think I don't have damage for now. Might I have 2, 7, 10. Yeah, but I'm not going to have the mana if he plays. Alright. I'm going to Shadow Word dead. Oh, we just won. Alright. That is a terrible opening, and considering actually that on meta Paladin are playing aggro, I'm going to keep those two actually. And that's pretty bad. No one drop. Can't even say thank you. God damn it, game. Alright. Well, let's quench all of them. Sword of Justice. That's going to be interesting. He plays two mana minions. Yep. To be honest, it's going to be better if I Shadow Word Pain here. Switch Belcher. Damn. Right. I kinda need to play that. Switch Belcher is pretty hard to kill, especially buffed up. Oh wow. Decided to go face? That's pretty interesting. Can't replay that. Let's get some spell power around here. Jessica Kings. Again. Wow. He decided to trade. That's a big mistake. Actually, I think Holy Farm might be a better choice here. Yep, let's get some HP just in case. That's not good. Ouch. Alright, that's not the worst. I need to clear that as well. Next turn I would probably play Prophet Velen because I'm out of answers to anything, to be honest. Ouch. I'm going to need to kill that if all of a sudden he decides to buff it somehow. Oh shit, repetence? That's not cool. One HP left. Let's play Twilight Will. Right, this isn't going to give him any cards, which is always nice. Oh yes, thank you. Avenge. Excellent. Now next turn I should probably play a Holy Nova. And to be honest, he can't really deal. Maybe from Consecration. But he can also get a weapon. So yeah, 2 HP isn't going to do that much. That's a last case play here. That means he's pretty desperate. Yeah, yes. Now I can turn the game. Let's kill that off, to be honest. Alright. Like this I'm playing versus Consecration. Oh. I'm going to need to get rid of that. I'm pretty much out of answers as well. This Avenge isn't going to do me that good. Arm big. Oh, it's pretty bad. Yeah, I'm going to need to kill Emperor here. Not the best, but it will do for now. I just hope he doesn't have a Blessing of Kings to finish me here. Or a True Silver. Probably has it. There are not many cards left. Consecration. Alright. He's still playing versus Avenge here. I really need to get a Holy Nova. I'm not sure if I have one more. That's going to save me. For now, I guess. Well, I think we lost here. Well, it was a good game anyway. He had a bit more luck with the top decks there. Voodoo. Alright, Voodoo. Damn, Kazan Mystic and Shadow Form are pretty good. Besides the fact that they're pretty slow, but I want to keep them versus some mage. And again, no one drop, man. Oh my god. I just hope this is some kind of a soul mage, because a shadow bomber, that's not going to do anything. Alright, that's good. He's going to have some secrets. Oh, what? Haven't seen anyone play that in a mage. It's pretty interesting. That's actually going to help me out a bit. Alright, now I can take his secret. Alright, right. Duplicate. I don't want to duplicate Shadow Bomber. But Kezan Mystic, I definitely would like to duplicate that. I'm going to force him to kill the Kezan Mystic. I'm not going to play anything else. To be honest, Azure Drake's also a pretty good choice. Oh. Of course he could potentially give me a sheep, which is going to be pretty bad. Oh, nice. Now I can play Shadow Madness. 369. Let's play Azure Drake. And Palette Whip, why not? Nine mana? Efaria? Oh, Hellbot. That's interesting. Three. To be honest, I don't see any other turn for Holy Nova Soul. Maybe I should have attacked with the Azure Drake there. Maybe we can play one Fairy Dragon as well to try to bait Flame Strike. Oh, I can actually take that from me. Alright. Let me kill that off. Blizzard, there. That means he has a Flame Strike. And that's good. And I want to use my spell damage now. Alright, I think we won. That's some kind of a meal. Like a meal mage? The fuck? Alright. I'm going to keep the Shadow Form. Yeah, let's throw the others. Firelight Wave is good, but I don't have a drag. Let's pass, and probably next turn coin Shadow Form. Chugga. Yeah. I'd actually like to... Let's actually play that coin, Shadow Word Pain. Alright. That way I'm forcing him to play a Frostbolt and waste his turn. Yep, that was perfect. I would like to take the pain, but I can't really. Guess I'll force him to draw cards with his hero power. Let's play Azure Drake. Oh, that's pretty bad for me. Oh wow, he used everything to clear. Alright. I can clear Torreson. That's pretty bad. I can actually, but I need to waste a lot of stuff. And that's going to be good enough. Oh wow, are you kidding me? I guess Shadow Boxer, Holy Nova. It's something. I can take the slime next turn if he doesn't trade with it. Oh. Shadow Madness would be pretty good here.
Let me change your mind.
Alright. Good. Taunt is more important. Cause I can Holy Nova pretty safely. Right. Actually, I would like to keep my Shadow Form for a better trading potential. Because I don't really have anything else to play the other turns.
I bring life.
Alexstrasza, are you kidding me? Alright. Right, excellent.
Thank you.
The light does not discriminate.
Ice Bearer, good. I'm going to prevent some little damage from happening. Just hope it doesn't have a flame strike here. Fireball. Wow. That's pretty hard. Alright. He did establish board control. And that may be a nice block. Let's start pushing for phase damage because we're kinda behind. It's not a counter spell for certainty. Ouch. Need to get some minion, maybe Velen. That could be a mirror entity. Yeah, let's check it out. It's not. Ice Barrier. Alright, let's kill the Shadow Bomber because I want it for a surprise. Little instead of making me lower on HP. If we play it like that, I'm going to win. Let's not play the second one because it's a pretty good bait for a Flame Strike, and as for now the Fairy Dragon on its own is pretty strong. Alright. Next turn I should be able to win. Yep, GG.
Well played.
Shadow engulfs us.
I didn't manage to have the time to show you a bit more awesome games, but this is all I had for today. I just wanted to show you the basic idea of the deck, and yeah, you should try to play it on your own and test its limits. I also didn't manage to play Prophet Velen and to show you the pretty big burst there. But yeah, I would say that you're going to have some troubles with this deck versus rogues and warriors, but otherwise the other classes you would going to have a pretty decent chance. So anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time, stay righteous.